Welcome to FM Corner. I'm Danny Koontz, Director of Relationship Management for Windy City. Today we're going to talk about a subject that's been mentioned in the past, but I want to expand on a little bit, and it's about the importance of preventive maintenance in your stores. As a facility manager, most folks have some type of PM service contract, either on their air conditioning, refrigeration, hot side, ice machines, whatever that may be. Today, I want to talk about its importance and how that program needs to be consistent in what you do. One of the things that happens, and everybody pretty much has dealt with this in the past, at some point when budgets start to shrink, one of the first things that's looked at to be cut is preventive maintenance. And that direction sometimes comes from the C-suite. And the reason for that is it's always been very difficult to explain why preventive maintenance helps extend life of equipment, have less breakdowns, and so on. There's not documentation for that. And so when it comes time to cut, if someone who doesn't understand the full benefit of it doesn't see a reason per se that it's saving X amount of money, it typically gets cut. Here's what happens. You don't have a PM program in place and you cut it. Or maybe the decision is made by someone that, okay, we'll just, since a lot of PM is actually cleaning and maintaining, we'll have our staff do that. Here's the problem. Your staff has cleanup typically that's done at night when they close. As soon as they finish that cleaning, they're able to leave. They're not typically going to stay and do much more cleaning on top of what they normally do, or maintaining or checking. There's no list that they check off that they cleaned all these particular items or anything like that. It's going to be inconsistent at best and typically not done. And if done, not done very well. So what are you really getting besides paying them more money to stay a longer period of time when they've been there for a shift of 7-8 hours and they want to go home? It's not going to be quality work. And so that's not going to pass as your preventive maintenance program that you've done. That doesn't work. It's always, like I said, been difficult to show how you're saving any money or less breakdown. But if you are ever faced with a situation where PM goes away, start documenting and track the number of repairs and the number of breakdowns you have over a period of time. It won't be initially, but the longer this goes on with no PM, take a look at the number of breakdowns you have and service calls and see if it isn't higher than what it was a year before at the same time, or 2 years before when you had a PM contract. If for nothing else, it gives you some information because it's going to be higher. And when that happens, you at least have some documentation to help show why preventive maintenance is important, because it's going to be simple stuff. Things get clogged up, they get dirty, they're not being cleaned, and it causes the equipment to work harder or go down. That's just what's going to happen in that whole PM piece. The other thing to do as a facility manager, if your C-suite is suggesting elimination of PM, is to speak about the cost it's going to be when it comes back. Because again, the equipment probably hasn't been maintained as well as when you were having a PM contract. So it's going to cost more money to clean, more money to maintain, and the laundry list of items that need to be replaced or suggested repairs that need to be made is going to be a lot longer, and you're going to have a big cash outlay to get the equipment back in the manner that it was prior to PM contract going away. The other thing to do is to speak to your whoever is driving the removal of PM services, and not talk about removal, but talk about reduction in service. If you have your air conditioning filters done quarterly and the PM done on the air conditioners, Offer 3 times a year. At worst, go to twice a year. Anything's better than nothing. Same on refrigeration. If you do it quarterly, go to 3 times a year. If you do cooking equipment twice, do it once. Offer up suggestions which will be cheaper and save some money, at least initially, but you don't take the full PM away. And then hopefully you'll be able to bring it back and it will be in a better state than having no PM done whatsoever. So speak to that, speak to your PM provider that does it and said, okay, I have to get X amount of cost out of my PM contracts. Help me do that. What can we do together that still allows us to do some PM, but also gets a cost savings that is needed by my company at the moment? Having a PM contract, as I've stated many times, never means that your equipment's not going to break. That's not it. That never was the intent, never has been the intent. What you want to do is assist in keeping your equipment running the very best that you can and hopefully minimize the amount of downtime or the number of repairs that need to be done so that that equipment can consistently provide the best results. Preventive maintenance doesn't mean there won't be breakdowns, there won't be things happening. Same as your car. You take your car for preventive maintenance, oil changes, and miscellaneous things at certain key levels. If you do, you hope that ensures that you have less issues. But it doesn't mean things won't break. People who don't understand PM or aren't involved in PM, sometimes that's a road they want to go down. Well, we have a contract. Why would it break? It has nothing to do with that. Only when that preventive contract goes away do you sometimes people realize why that contract was there to begin with. And again, it's going to lead to more breakdowns, more issues, because the equipment's not getting cleaned, the equipment's not getting maintained, it's not given the best opportunity to succeed. So fight for your PM contracts. If you have to give up something, reduce the services that are done, but try to keep at least part of it in play so that the opportunity to still try to make it work as best you can is still in play until the time and when you're able to bring it back. And again, if you're forced to remove a PM contract, start tracking the cost and see what it does and compare it to times past when you had a contract that may help you in your next negotiations with the C-suite. That's our program for today. Thank you as always so much for listening. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.